Bella's life had always been an uphill battle. After losing her parents in a tragic car accident at the tender age of 6, she was thrown into the harsh reality of life on the streets. The foster care system failed her, and she was left to fend for herself. From a young age, Bella learned to be tough, even when she felt scared and alone. She moved from one shelter to another, never finding a place to truly call home. Every day was a struggle to survive, and each night, she fought to find a safe place to sleep. The streets were unforgiving, filled with dangers that no child should have to face. Bella's options were limited, and by the time she reached her late teens, she had made a decision out of sheer desperation. With no job prospects and no support system, she turned to the only thing she felt she had left, her body. Sleeping with men for money became her means of survival. It was a life filled with shame and regret, but Bella convinced herself it was the only way to make it through each day. Yet, deep down, she longed for a way out, a chance to live a life free from the constant fear and darkness. The club was buzzing with energy, the music pulsating through the walls as people danced and drank their worries away. Bella stood in the corner, scanning the room with practiced eyes. She had been in this club countless times, and the routine was all too familiar. She hated this life, but tonight, like every other night, she was there to find someone who would pay for her company. That's when she noticed Murphy. He stood out from the crowd, well-dressed, confident, and clearly wealthy. His laughter echoed above the music as he clinked glasses with his friends. Bella knew his type, men who had too much money and not enough sense. When Murphy's gaze met hers, she saw the recognition in his eyes. He approached her with a charming smile, and after a brief conversation, they left the club together. Bella wasn't surprised when he brought her to his luxurious penthouse. It was just another night, another client. But when Murphy collapsed onto his bed, too drunk to even acknowledge her, Bella was taken aback. She sat on the edge of the bed, staring at him as he slept. The room was filled with expensive items, and she could have taken anything she wanted. But for reasons she couldn't fully understand, she didn't. Instead, she left quietly, leaving Murphy and his wealth behind. The next morning, Murphy woke up with a pounding headache and a vague memory of the night before. As the events slowly came back to him, panic set in. He rushed to his bedroom drawer, where he kept a substantial amount of cash, and flung it open. To his immense relief, everything was still there, nothing was missing. He sat on the edge of his bed, confused. Why hadn't she taken anything? Bella had the perfect opportunity to steal from him, yet she left empty-handed. The mystery gnawed at him, and as the days passed, he found himself thinking about her more and more. It wasn't just about the money, it was about understanding her. Who was she? Why had she left without a trace? Murphy became obsessed with finding answers. He returned to the club where they met, night after night, hoping to see her again. He asked the bartenders and the regulars if they had seen her, describing her appearance in detail. But no one seemed to know anything about her. His frustration grew with each fruitless visit. Bella had become an enigma that he couldn't shake, and the more he searched for her, the more determined he became to find her again. Just as Murphy was about to give up hope, fate intervened. One night, as he walked into the club, he spotted her. Bella was sitting at the bar, her eyes distant as she sipped on a drink. His heart raced as he made his way toward her, unsure of what to say or how she would react. When she looked up and saw him, her expression remained calm, but there was a flicker of surprise in her eyes. "I've been looking for you," Murphy said, taking a seat beside her. Bella raised an eyebrow, clearly skeptical. "Why?" she asked, her voice steady. Murphy hesitated for a moment before responding, "I guess I just wanted to know why you didn't take anything that night." Bella let out a small laugh, shaking her head. "Not everything is about money," she replied. They sat in silence for a few moments, the noise of the club fading into the background as they sized each other up. Eventually, Bella motioned for Murphy to sit with her. There was something about him that intrigued her too. Maybe it was his persistence, or maybe it was the fact that he saw her as more than just a transaction. Whatever it was, Bella decided to give him a chance. As the nights passed, Murphy and Bella began spending more time together, meeting at the club and then eventually at quieter places where they could talk. Murphy was fascinated by Bella, and the more she shared about her life, the more he realized just how much she had been through. One evening, Bella finally opened up about her past. She told Murphy about the accident that took her parents and left her an orphan at such a young age. She explained how the foster care system had failed her, and she ended up on the streets, struggling to survive. Bella spoke of the nights she spent in alleyways, trying to stay warm, and the days she wandered the city, searching for food and safety. She had tried to find honest work, but without an education or a stable home, no one would give her a chance. Desperation led her down a dark path, and she began selling her body to survive. "It's not something I'm proud of," Bella said, her voice tinged with regret. "But when you're faced with the choice of starving or doing whatever it takes to survive, you make decisions you never thought you would." Murphy listened quietly, his heart aching for her. Bella wasn't just a woman trying to make money, she was someone who had fought to survive against all odds. Murphy couldn't shake the feeling that he needed to help Bella. She had been through so much, and he wanted to give her a way out of the life she had been forced into. But Bella was proud and independent. She had survived on her own for so long that the idea of accepting help from anyone, even someone like Murphy, felt foreign to her. At first, she resisted his offers of assistance, not wanting to be dependent on anyone. But Murphy wasn't the type to give up easily. He reassured her that his help wasn't about pity, it was about giving her the chance to build a better future. Bella eventually agreed to let him help, but she made it clear that she wanted to do things on her own terms. Murphy respected her wishes and connected her with a friend who owned a small business. Bella started working there, learning new skills and slowly rebuilding her life. It wasn't easy. The transition from her old life to this new one was filled with challenges. But Bella was determined to make it work. She was tired of just surviving, she wanted to live. And with Murphy's support, she began to see that there was more to life than the constant struggle she had known for so long. As Bella settled into her new job and routine, her relationship with Murphy deepened. What had started as a strange connection born out of curiosity had blossomed into a true friendship. Murphy admired Bella's strength and resilience, and Bella found herself drawn to his kindness and sincerity. They spent more and more time together, talking about their lives, their hopes, and their dreams. Murphy was always there to encourage Bella when she felt overwhelmed by the challenges of her new life. He helped her see that she was capable of so much more than she had ever believed. In turn, Bella became a source of inspiration for Murphy. She showed him a different side of life, one that wasn't defined by wealth and success, but by perseverance and survival. As the months passed, their friendship began to evolve into something more. They were cautious, not wanting to rush into anything, but the connection between them was undeniable. Bella had never allowed herself to be vulnerable with anyone, but with Murphy, she felt safe. He saw her for who she really was, and that made all the difference. Slowly but surely, Bella began to let her walls down, opening herself up to the possibility of love and a future she had never dared to dream of. One day, as they sat together on the balcony of Murphy's penthouse, watching the sunset, Bella turned to him and said, "I never thought I'd be here. Not just in this place, but with someone who truly cares about me." Murphy smiled and took her hand. "You deserve to be happy, Bella. You fought so hard to get here. I'm just glad I could be a part of your journey." Bella looked into his eyes and saw the truth in his words. For the first time in a long time, she felt a sense of hope and belonging. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was living. And with Murphy by her side, Bella knew that her future, once so uncertain, was now filled with endless possibilities. Together, they had found something far more valuable than money, love, trust, and a shared sense of purpose. And that, Bella realized, was worth more than anything she could have ever imagined.